was hoping we wouldn't have to have a segment about the whole thing that we talked about yesterday, which was the ethnicity of Kamala and like her Indianness and her blackness. But there's still a lot of hullabaloo that is happening around that conversation. So we're just going to share the hullabaloo. Okay. And it starts off with Trump himself, who yesterday morning tweeted this saying, "Thank you, Kamala, for the nice picture you sent from many years ago. Your warmth, friendship, and love of your Indian heritage are very much appreciated."
All right, trolling Trump is also my fave. I'm not gonna lie. I know you hate this, but I don't dislike it.
I don't hate it, actually.
There's like a tiny part of you that's like, yeah. I mean,
I don't hate it. I do understand, like Frank Luntz saying, this is a weird thing to obsess over. Her mom is Indian. Her dad is black. This is a photo of her with her maternal grandparents. There is zero upside to further publicizing this after yesterday's interview. With NABJ.
All right, Frank Luntz. It's like, you're going to tell other people what not to obsess over. Mr. Like, I talk about polls every day when polls don't matter. Okay. Whatever.
Oh, I know. I can't. Listen, I'm going to share all sides. You know that.
I know you do. I know. And I love you.
All the sides.
We all love you. But I love the trolling.
I didn't hate it. I didn't actually hate it.
I think that one was actually a good one.
I also loved this because Kamala's response to it was to say it was the same old show. The American people deserve better, blah. And Cat Turd was like, "Are you talking in your racist fake accent now or your regular voice?"
It's so great.
And I just had to laugh at that.
And she is able to imitate and conjure up Obama when she does that. That's what she's doing. She's legit imitating Obama. You guys just listen to it, and that's what it is.
Yeah,
she practices. Right. She practices in the mirror. She does.
And by the way, and we'll get to her laugh later because we've got some things about her laugh to share today. But have you noticed that it's gone? Like her team, whoever is rebranding her right now has clearly told her, ixnay on the afterlay. Like, you've got to stop.
Yeah.
And she has. And in fact, like at one of the rallies, you could tell that she was in that mode where she had a laugh building up. Like it was in there, man. It was like on its way out. And what she did instead is she just smiled really, really big. And so I think that they've told her, when you feel that laugh coming, girl,
kill it.
Smile,
it with fire.
But kill the laughter because it sounds insane. And we have examples to play later of that.
Kill your joy. Yeah.
Right. And again, before anybody's like, "You're laughing all the time," which I know is like going to be the instant attack point. I am not running for president. Okay.
Right. This is what we do. We're here to bring you the news. Of course we're going to laugh. It's hilarious.
I mean, it really kind of is. Yeah. The reason for my name today is for Harris Faulkner, who, of course, was one of the panelists or one of the interviewers, rather, at the NABJ. And so she gave, I know we played a little bit yesterday of her kind of giving the lowdown afterwards, but on her actual show, she talked about it at length. And here is a part of that. Right here.
Yeah, race is a tough issue. It doesn't matter when it comes up. And when there's emotion mixed in, it gets even tougher. So those moments were really hard to be in the room for some people. I was really glad I was there to witness it, because right from the get, it was not what it should have been. But we'll get into that in a moment. The vice president was also supposed to be there, so the Donald Trump campaign team had been told that Kamala Harris would be there. But then told the group that she had a scheduling conflict. That's what we were all told on the ground the minute we got there. Well, that apparently was lunch with the president at the White House and the press secretary, Karine Jean-Pierre. Trump's vice presidential candidate, J.D. Vance, branded Kamala Harris as a coward, posting this quote: "President Trump walked right into the NABJ conference and showed he had the courage to take tough questions, while Kamala Harris continues to hide from any scrutiny or unfriendly media like the coward she is." That's a quote. Now, we do know that Kamala Harris will be speaking with NABJ. She announced that, or her team did yesterday, just ahead of Donald Trump taking the dais there. And she'll do that via satellite at this point, as far as we know, not in person.
I mean, they're absolutely right. She is a coward. She had lunch with Biden. Seriously.
And KJP. You can't do that like any other freaking day.
Right.
Come on.
She chickened out. She didn't want to do it. She didn't want to be off script.
This is what every dog needs to bring their dry, brown, disgusting kibble to life, you guys.
God,
would you want to eat that?
We're judging it.
I mean, give your dog a break. Give them a treat. Put a little bit of this green powder onto their kibble. Bring that stuff to life. This is from the brainchild, naturopathic Dr. Dennis Black, and it's got all the nutrients, minerals, vitamins that your dog needs to be at their highest energy, to have their best smelling breath, to have their shiniest coats. All of that stuff is what you can achieve with Rough Greens, and you can try it for free and see if your dog likes it, which I'm sure they will. You can get your free Jumpstart trial bag at roughchicks.com. That's RUFF chicks.com. Roughchicks.com. You can also call them. They have a number. It's 888-90-MY-DOG. 888-90 my dog. Well, and she's now saying, even if she does it via Zoom or satellite or however she's going to do it, it will be very, very interesting if it's the same 3 interviewers to watch how they are with her, because it's going to be different. And Harris was alluding to that. She was saying, that was unacceptable the way that it went. But there are other people, Stephen A. Smith is one of them, who thinks that first journalist, the one that asked the mean, horrible, hostile question, Rachel, whatever her name is, thinks that she's the next rising star.
So we recognize the fact that he wasn't going to tell the truth about half the stuff coming out of his mouth, if not more. I thought that was a given. Rachel Scott is moderating it. You have any idea what an outstanding journalist she is? She's outstanding. God. I think she's a I think she's a superstar in the making. I've seen Barbara Walters. I've seen Diane Sawyer on the sports side. You understand? I've seen Pam Oliver on the sports and news side. I've seen Robin Roberts for years. I think Rachel Scott is a superstar in the making. Nancy Pelosi just snapped at her a few weeks ago for asking poignant questions. She's going to ask questions. She can't help it if the man is addicted to lying or to embellishing and pushing forth his own record and his own agenda.
What did he lie about? Where were the lies? Somebody's going to have to tell me where the lies are. Plus, that guy.
Oh, my God.
We've talked to you guys about how we had a run-in with him. Not in a run. I don't want to call it a run-in.
It wasn't a run-in. He's not nice
he's
at all.
He's not nice. It's like when you meet people in the business and you learn who they are quickly.
Yeah.
We're nobodies, right? And we've met people in the business. He came to our radio station to use one of the studios, and he's not nice. He's just not a nice person.
And we invited him onto our show. Like, we extended our platform to him, and he was all like freaked out that he didn't know how to turn us down because we were like a political podcast, and he was horrified about getting in trouble with like whoever pays his check. You know what I mean?
He just wasn't nice. Like,
he was awful.
When you meet people and you should be like, hey, like, we're kind of all in the same business, even though I know you're like a star and we're losers, right? But I mean, like, be nice to people.
Right.
It's be a human being and be nice to everybody. I don't understand how people can't do that. And he can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
And ever since that, I've been like, you're a jerk. I'm not going to listen to you. Yeah.
He did reference a moment that I thought we would just remind everybody of, which is when, because I didn't realize that, I didn't put 2 and 2 together, that Rachel Scott is the same woman that Pelosi was so awful to. And so this is the moment that he was just referring to.
Are you concerned whether or not he can win in November?
I think he can.
Do you believe he should run for re-election?
Am I speaking English to you? I'm not going to be making any statements about any of that right now in the hallway.
So Nancy Pelosi's a racist, right?
Oh my God.
It's why. Imagine if a Republican did that, though.
I know that's the thing. It's like they give her a pass completely for treating her absolutely horribly.
Yeah.
And then she turns right back around and treats Trump like absolute garbage.
Right. Exactly.
And then everybody's mad at Trump. Like all the lefties are mad at Trump for being rude to a black woman.
And he actually was not rude on that stage.
He wasn't
rude at all. And Nancy Pelosi is the drunk racist.
Right.
Hello.
And the racism is always a projection from the left. And if you need a reminder of that, here's a little montage.
Taken a cognitive
No,
test.
I haven't taken a test. Why the hell would I take a test? Come on, man.
Come on.
That's like saying before you got in this program, if you take a test where you're taking cocaine or not, what do you think, huh? Are you a junkie?
What do you say to President Trump?
Real leaders do not tear people down. They don't
Really?
question someone's identity.
Well, I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
Oh. All right.
Take a look at my record, man.
When I marched in the civil rights movement, I marched with tens of thousands of others.
He had not actually marched during the civil rights movement and kept telling the story anyway.
I came out of the civil rights movement. I was one of those guys that sat in and marched and all that stuff.
Now, his aides went back to say, look, he was in office marching for the idea.
That's not what the word marching means.
On Twitter.
I was not out marching.
If you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
They're going to put you all back in chains.
And you ain't black. Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids.
Oh my God.
You ain't black. You ain't black. You ain't black. You ain't black.
The most racist thing a person could tell me is that I'm supposed to choose something based on my race.
You ain't black.
It's a great ad,
It's such a great ad.
right?
Share it far and wide.
I
God,
mean,
these
damn.
people. I mean, it's just, can you not see? They can't.
They can't.
They can't see.
They can't see.
They're like, I'm with her. I'm with him. Oh my God.
And speaking of projection, Alyssa Farah on The View has now decided in her vast experience that Trump is suffering from cognitive decline.
Oh.
And here she is to explain.
Despicable, and if you didn't know who he was, he's saying it very loudly. I do want to give kudos to ABC's Rachel Scott, who's just amazing, and Claudia Gova did an excellent job holding his feet to the fire. And there is something about when women challenge him that he unravels. And what I was struck by wasn't just the blatant racism, the lack of understanding of what it means to be biracial. I've said this for a while. He is slowing down. He's never been a super eloquent person. He did not seem mentally sharp. He walked into
good how you said that.
He walked into a room of black journalists, and it seemed like he was kind of blurting out loud what he says privately with his advisors.
Yes.
Like he didn't even try to hide or mask the racism. And that to me is a sign of decline. It's a sign of, he was asked, should he take a mental acuity test? I think he should. He does not seem right. He kind of came off like your crazy great uncle that you hope doesn't show up to the family event.
Yeah, well, I think that there was some.
Can you even?
Yeah. And is she supposedly like the one Republican on the panel? Is she supposed to be it?
Yeah.
She and like Anna
her and
Navarro,
they
they throw her in there every once in a while. God, these broads, man. It's crazy. She has no idea. No idea. And so she's a doctor now.
Right.